Right people, today is one of those days where there's just nothing out there in terms of Apple leaks for me to report on, and so today I have to give you guys, yet again, some quality filler content to pass the time, and today I thought I'd discuss some of my most awaited Apple releases in 2021. Because, let's be honest, 2020 has been a dumpster fire and 2021 is looking to be the same. So hopefully Apple can make it up to us with some exciting products, and from what we've seen with the leaks, there does seem to be some pretty mental stuff out there. So without further ado, make sure to like and subscribe, click that bell notification. With that being said, let's just delve in. So the first product on my lineup is something that's highly anticipated. Everybody out there is waiting for these to release, and that is of course AirTags. Okay, I'm kinda kidding. Kinda. So, AirTags is something that we've been waiting for a while, and yes, I'm aware that I probably won't be buying one and you probably won't be buying one too, but there are two solidish reasons why I'm pretty excited for these. Number one, these sound pretty cool in the way they work. So essentially, they use iPhones to determine the exact location of a lost item, and that just sounds really cool, and there's some balloons involved in all of this for some reason. Of course, I'm a big fan of balloons. Balloons are cool, so as long as there's balloons, I'm in. Obviously, I know that tracking lost items in 2020 is not really a thing because we don't really go outside, but either way, I'm very, very excited to see how these work, and so I hope they do release in 2021. The second reason I want to see them in 2021 is because they've become a meme within the Apple community. Because we've known for the longest time that Apple is indeed working on AirTags. We've known for years now, and in fact, it's got to a point where even Apple themselves have leaked the presence of AirTags via an Apple support video. So we know it's in the works, and we really have no clue why it's taking Apple so long to release them. In fact, the wait has got so bad that Samsung has taken note of these leaks and they're releasing their own AirTags competitor next year, probably before the release of AirTags, which is kind of funny. So yeah, hopefully Apple does hurry up with the release of AirTags. So Timothy, whatever you're doing, stop it, just get on AirTags. That's your first agenda for 2021. Get them out there to the public, because yes, no one will buy them, but at the same time, the meme shall end. We shall finally have AirTags. Okay, AirTags out of the way, let's now delve into my second most awaited release of 2021, and that's of course AirPods 3. So initially, AirPods seemed like a ripoff. $160 for a pair of wireless earbuds seemed pretty insane. But I was completely wrong, people, because AirPods have changed my life. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating things a little, but honestly, AirPods are pretty amazing. The convenience of them and the seamless integration they have with other Apple hardware is absolutely spectacular, and honestly, I can't live without them. But of course, like any product, there are some flaws, and namely its sound quality and battery life. So battery life is something that I wish was a little better, but at least it tops up pretty fast, though sound quality is a completely different story, because that's just downright pretty average with AirPods, but again, AirPods were never really the earbuds for audiophiles. But not to worry, because AirPods 3 is here, and unlike AirPods 2, which was literally AirPods 1 with apparently a newer chip, AirPods 3 is going to be all new. It's going to have a new design, better sound, wireless charging as standard, possibly better battery life, a smaller case, and possibly the same exact $160 price tag. So basically, same price, but you're getting a bevy of improvements. That pretty much seals the deal for me, and I think I'll be instantly upgrading on day one to AirPods 3. So yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to those. Right, next on the list is the iMac. The iMac is also something I'm really looking forward to. So I've never had an iMac, and I remember as a kid going to a friend's house and seeing the iMac in person and just being in wonder about how amazing this machine was. And you know what the funny part is? That iMac I saw as a 10-year-old is the same iMac we have right now. I mean, the internals are different, but the design, that's pretty much the same, which tells you how long the iMac's design has been around. So yeah, this definitely deserves a redesign. And a redesign is exactly what we're getting. We're getting an iPad Pro-like design, we're getting thinner bezels, Face ID possibly, new sizes, Apple Silicon. It's just great things after great things after great things after great things. It's gonna be amazing, and I can't wait to see this in person. I am so excited, and I am tempted to go for a desktop machine this time when I upgrade my MacBook Pro, and maybe if the iMac comes at a great price, then I might consider it. But a worry of mine with the iMac is Apple possibly converting it to a monitor that needs the Pro Display XDR stand, which might be sold separately, and I'm not paying $1,000 for a stand that comes separately with my machine. So that pretty much brings me to my next machine of choice, the backup choice for me, and that is the 14-inch MacBook Pro. Now, of course, I've been editing all my videos on a MacBook Pro, and it's served me pretty well over the years, but of course I am looking to upgrade, and the direct upgrade route would be to go for the latest MacBook Pro. And of course, this 2021 model is pretty exciting stuff, because not only are we going to be seeing a redesign, we're going to be seeing Apple Silicon, M1X chip, it's going to be faster than the M1, it's going to have Face ID possibly, it's going to have mini LED, it's going to have thinner bezels, it's going to have the whole lot. It's going to be a pretty interesting upgrade, and most importantly, like I mentioned in yesterday's report, which you can check out in the iCard above, the price will stay roughly the same, and so for £1,800, we're going to be seeing some pretty serious improvements, and like I said, for the iMac, I'm also very much looking forward to this. I think the Mac lineup as a whole is going to be pretty exciting next year with all these redesigns. I honestly can't wait. So my fifth and final release in 2021 that I'm looking forward to is actually not a physical product, it's more of a service, and that is of course Apple Fitness Plus, baby, because obviously we've got to get those muscles pumping and we've got to get exercising, people. Okay, don't worry, I'm kidding, I'm fat, I don't really do exercise. Instead, what I'm looking forward to is Final Cut on the iPad. Now this is another thing that's been rumored for some time, but I do think 2021 is the perfect time for Apple to release a Pro iPad with some proper Pro functionalities. So of course, the iPad Pro had the upper hand over the Macs in terms of hardware and of course Apple Silicon, because the A12Z was so much better than most Intel chips out there. But now that advantage no longer exists, and of course Apple is moving their own silicon to the Macs, and so along with the powerful hardware and the much superior software, the Macs just make more sense in terms of a productivity machine compared to the iPad. And so I think for people to take the iPad Pro more seriously, I think it's time for them to give the iPad Pro some Pro apps like the name suggests. Because we know Apple can bring Pro apps to Apple Silicon, since the M1 Macs run Final Cut and Logic Pro perfectly fine, and so I don't really understand why the iPad doesn't have these Pro apps yet. Maybe it's the lack of RAM, and so if that's the case, give us more RAM in the 2021 models. I don't think there's any excuse at this point, so please, Apple, give the iPad some Pro applications and let the machine have some software that will take advantage of the powerful hardware. At least that's what I think, because right now my iPad Pro is just a glorified Netflix machine, so it would be nice to edit videos on that. So please, Apple, if you're listening, give us that ability in 2021. And that brings me to the end. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, click that bell notification, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you, peeps.